Hey everyone, welcome back to Harmony Hour with Deepa. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Deepa and I'm on a mission to inspire as many of you out there for becoming a better version of yourself. And we are having in here we are having so many different personality who is doing wonders in the different field, and we are here to learn from the best. And I'm super excited for this episode. So today I am really excited to have a conversation with Miss Deeksha Gandotra on the show. She is the managing director of Trust Versatile, a global HR consultancy and a partner at IPTR, an international recruitment organization. So Deeksha also plays a key role with several other companies, including Coffee.io, a tech outsourcing platform, and Hospitality Hub, one of the largest restaurant association in the UAE. On top of that, she's been a mentor for UN Women, helping female entrepreneurs start their own business. And Deeksha has a big goal to create a world where people work together and uplift each other. I can't wait to hear the thoughts on life, business, and empowering women. So, welcome, Deeksha, and I'm super excited for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Deepa. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so before starting, I just want to ask you, how do you wear so many hats? For me, just sitting here is something big. And, I have different roles and responsibilities, being a woman, but you wear so many different hats. How do you manage it?
I think women are blessed to be multitaskers.
That's
I
true.
just feel like there's one huge blessing God gave us. And then there are ample hours in a day. I think if you manage well, if you organize well, you can channelize your energy in the right spaces and do multiple things at a time. And I think I come from a very high ambition drive, and it's impossible for me to sit idle. So that's why I keep doing and I pick up things which I enjoy doing. So you don't get to know how the day passes. I think I realized this because I used to love talking
Yeah.
to people, right? And talking to people makes you realize that you. I think it's the best way to find yourself out, right?
True.
And one of the major roles I play amongst different organizations is meeting people, networking, building relationships. So and that's talking. So then that's when I realized I need to keep doing this. So because I am somewhere doing what I was inherently born with, it's easy to manage these
Yeah.
different hats. And I think ambition rolling really high, want to achieve. People have done so much. I think it constantly keeps motivating you to do better.
So when you're speaking about talking, so you know why I'm sitting here, because I'm a very talkative person. I just discover how much I love talking to people and knowing their stories. And I just feel when you talk with people, there are so many takeaways you can
Yeah.
take from you. And so I started this why I should have all the knowledge by myself.
Amazing.
So it's like something I love doing. And I feel like when you talk good about people and when you try to incorporate something good they have done in life, so life become better, right?
Absolutely. What a beautiful thought, Deepa, because I genuinely feel that everybody's life is like a story you're
Yeah,
reading,
that's
right?
true, yeah.
So there's so much to take inspiration. And, we sometimes discount simple lives also, but they are doing exceptional things,
True.
even being simple.
Yeah.
So there's always key takeaways. Maybe sometimes you pick up professionally, sometimes you pick up personally, like
Yeah.
how they conduct themselves, simply like that, how they respond to bad circumstances in life, how they are receptive to that.
Yeah.
So I feel it's the best way of reading books,
Yeah,
like
that's
talking
so
to
true.
people.
Yeah, that's so true. And I really believe when you get to know people, like more and more people, because I'm a traveler also. I travel a lot in different countries, and now I feel each country has the same people with a different story, just
Yeah.
that. And it doesn't make all the people in the country has a different book to give you. It's just that and no more differences. So let's start with the first question. So you wear so many hats, from managing a global HR consultancy to being a partner at various company. How do you balance your personal life and multiple professional roles?
Um, I think I have a very supportive family, and I'm supremely blessed
Yeah.
that I have no responsibility to go home to in terms of what needs to be cooked. And I think that's a huge
Yeah,
responsibility.
that's true.
If that can be taken care of, I think you save a couple of hours in a day. I do think when there are different phases of life, right? There's a phase where you're professional on a professional high. Maybe that's the phase I am in. When I go the family way, maybe more responsibilities will strike my way, but I have to slow down, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I do understand that this is the time which was given where I need to be professionally at my highest. So why not utilize it completely?
That's so true.
So I think it's that balance in my head that I know at this point this is important. So I should give 100% priority to this. Tomorrow, when other responsibilities done, I might have to slow down. So plus, honestly, I cannot sit idle like I told you earlier. So I like doing something or the other, and there are enough hours in a day to sort of complete. I think if you organize yourself well and if you have the right team supporting you, there are a lot of things. I do sometimes wonder, like people like Mukesh Ambani, Elon Musk, etc., who run multiple companies. How do they do it?
Yeah.
Right? They also do it, right? And it's not like there is an oversight on anything. So how do they do it? They always do it because they have the right teams in place. They have the right teams, they have the right accountability structure, and I think it's about like looking at everything at one glance and moving on and seeing how you can sort of expand. I think it's all about the mindset.
Yeah. Like talking about the mindset, like, in a woman's life, there are so many emotionally ups and down. When sometimes you're high on emotion, there are times when you're low. How do you manage those things with different situation? Because wearing, in a founder's life, every day is a fire day.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
how do you like manage both the side? It's just not for women, but
For anybody, I
yeah, for
would say.
anybody, I say.
Yeah.
And wearing so many different hats together,
Yeah.
how do you manage it?
You picked up a very important point about the emotional aspect, and I'd like to throw light on the fact that we run on high emotions, so do men.
Yeah, yeah.
Men suppress their emotions
Yeah,
many
that's
a
true.
times, but they go through that over. Like I think since generations they've been taught to suppress their emotions and not let that surface. But we have hormones attached to those emotions, right? Which create a wreck in our body, which
Yeah.
create a wreck, and especially a certain time of the month, you go absolutely berserk. I go through all of it. Let me tell you, I do. But I think it's what really helps, and I've discovered it lately, is a good night's sleep.
Okay.
So, what happens if you're overworking or if you're doing a lot of things? What you compromise is on your sleep. And that's the worst thing you can do.
True.
So if you get, and I was, I had met Luke Coutinho the other day, and we were talking about this, and he said, Deeksha, um, the most important thing is sleep, even more than exercise.
Okay. Yeah.
And I always see that difference in myself. The day I have slept only 4-5 hours, I am grumpy. The day I have slept 6 to 7 good hours, I'm fresh. I have a good, and 8 hours is essential as,
Yeah.
but we always think compromising on sleep, and a startup life is around that.
Yeah.
That we have this high adrenaline rush, and we are like, no, 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 we have to keep working, we have to keep working. But you ultimately exhaust yourself. So I've also slowed down, and I have realized that health is your ultimate wealth.
That's so
And so inculcate the right sleep pattern, I would say, if you're living a high drive life. Secondly, I think emotional ups and downs are very much part, and it's an everyday. We see on Instagram or we see on LinkedIn all the happy posts, the
Yeah.
awards, the accolades you've got, but nobody sees the tears behind it. Nobody sees the downs behind it, and the journey is 90% that and 10% the glory, right? What we see is, oh my God, so she's achieved so much or he's achieved so much, but it's out of the 10 hits, 9 went wrong for that one
That's so
hit to
true. That's so true.
take off. So and also I feel the way our parents lived versus us is a bit different.
Very
They
different.
lived a slow paced content life, whereas we live in a very high drive, high ambition zone. This generation has seen the youngest billionaires there were ever.
That's so
How
true.
was the conventional way of business? Conventional way of business was you start a business, in 10 years you'll reach at an X amount,
Yeah.
in 20 years 100X. So there was a 40-year, 50-year plan. Now we have a 5-year exit plan, right?
Yeah.
So at 21, somebody who leaves their university and they start their journey, they're looking at a 5-year exit.
Yeah.
At a 25 or 26, you're trying to achieve what was achieved at when you were 60.
Yeah.
So, which is good and bad at the same time, because I'm seeing people retiring at 30 and going the spiritual path. Suddenly, I don't know if you've noticed this, I've seen a surge of spirituality in our generation. Like everybody wants to go through that path because we also realize that gives you happiness, momentary happiness, and you've achieved it. What next? Right? You keep thinking, what next? Okay, you keep building, but what next? So that's why a balance is very important. That we should not forget family is very important. We should not forget friends also play a very important role in your life. Work plays a very important role. So everywhere there should be a complete balance for you to lead a fulfilled life. Otherwise, you'll have very high in life and very, very low lows. So that the spark is not like, because what happens is we see a lot of people going into depression, anxiety, etc. is because you are living a very high drive life, and suddenly if you hit a low, you don't know what to do with yourself.
So true.
You hit depression then. So that's why if you're living a life where you are at a balanced scale, it becomes, you remain in touch with yourself. Otherwise, you're flying high,
Yeah.
right? Secondly, I think what we forget is that being connected to your roots is very, very important, and not get influenced by this influencer life.
That's a
That's
great point.
Yeah, we are immensely influenced by that life, the glory, the show off,
Blinginess.
the bling. That's not real life.
Yeah.
None of them live that way. So it is always we are trying to put the best foot forward to the world, because maybe that is also an outlet to make yourself happy, because you feel that if you post, somewhere you're giving yourself that motivation, which is not wrong. But from a viewer perspective, I would say stop thinking that that is how that person's life is completely.
Yeah. Now people are also talking about Nazar,
Nazar, of course, we do talk about, but I actually heard a podcast wherein this reverend lady was talking about the fact that whatever you say is what you attract. So why not say कि मुझे दुआएं लग रही है rather than saying कि मुझे नजर लग रही है, because whatever you're saying is what you're attracting. Your words are the strongest, and I have tried it. Honestly, I was somebody who was probably wearing evil eye head to toe. But that's when I realized that I think maybe I'm attracting it more. The more you think about something, the more you attract it, right?
Yeah.
So every word, you should never say begrudging things about yourself, your family, your partner, your work. Always, I think the flow of words from your mouth need to be positive.
That's a good takeaway. And talking about spirituality and the balance of life, right? So recently I started doing yoga and Pilates, and before that I was so much in between, emotion ups and down, like talking like, what to do next. It was so much me. So when I started yoga, I just found that, this, like before starting the podcast, this was the most happiest place for me when I hit the yoga center, go for the Pilates, and when I am with my yoga trainer and I'm like, giving stress to my body, that was. And talking about spirituality, I am like, so Tirupati Balaji, I don't know if you have heard of.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm a fan, you can say hardcore fan. I go to him every year. I try to go
Amazing.
to. Yeah. And it is something which, the positive vibe for me. So I really like the way you said, there should be a balance between how you manage your emotions, your ups and down. And I really like you talked about the Nazar wala part, like, why to take it as
Yeah.
a bad thing. You should always talk. So this is like
I
what,
think the words need to change, and you should only say that मुझे दुआएं लग रही है.
yeah,
Like, that I'm only attracting duas towards me. I'm not. And very well you mentioned about Tirupati Balaji. I am a Krishna Bhakt. I've always
oh
been a
wow,
Krishna Bhakt, and I think that the people mistake being religious and being spiritual,
yeah,
right? There's a thin line between the both. um, I enjoy both.
okay,
Like, I love the religious practices we were born with. I love Navratri have started
yes,
today.
yes,
So I love the fasting. I love the puja which happens at home.
the
It
vibe
keeps you grounded. It cleans the energy of the
for
house.
sure.
I definitely believe in blessings. I think starting with God to parents to anybody who's an elder, um, their blessings are healing. I genuinely believe there is no more powerful tool than blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And but कहते हैं ना दुआएं सबकी ले लो बद्दुआ किसी की नहीं लेना.
That's so true.
So so I think practicing being a good human being is actually living the real spiritual way, not when you are only doing your meditation and all of that and you're balancing. But I think being spiritual is equal to being a good human being. And what do I mean by being a good human being? Is that how are you balancing yourself the whole day? How are you behaving with people the whole day? How do you treat people the whole day? How are you
Yeah.
treating circumstances the whole day? If the 10 worlds of behaviors in what I'm trying to say is that if anger inculcates in your behavior in the day, if showing condescending behavior towards others inculcated in your behavior, you're not spiritual. That 1 hour of spirituality becomes zero.
Yeah.
So if you are spiritual, you need to look at circumstances differently. You need to look at people differently. Why are people behaving a certain way?
Mm-hmm.
There has to be hidden trauma behind them to be talking the way they are talking.
Yeah. Right.
So don't blame. And also, I think the biggest takeaway of Bhagavad Gita, which is the ultimate book according to me, is that when God says that what is in me is in you,
Yeah.
then how can you differentiate me with the other person?
Oh, that's so good.
So, for example, when we look at anybody who's at a lower stature than us, and I see people around behaving with them differently, but you say you love God, and you can never abuse God, and you can never show God down. I mean,
How could you do
you're
that?
so afraid of that. How do you show the person who has that same thing which you have,
Mm-hmm.
and that same God you have is in him also? And if you can do that to that person, that means you're abusing the God you love.
That's amazing.
That's the crux of Gita.
Like, I think you are super mature to understand so many things, but like, we are here to inspire people. And, in like our generation, or we say that the coming generation, they are very much practical and they understand a lot of things. Like, I think back then I couldn't understand. I'm not talking for the entire generation, but like standing and understanding what you understand, just like made us understand in such a good way. Like, this takes a lot of time for coming generation, because I've seen people go to temple 10 times and go to like certain places 10 times what they believe in, but still behaving like they are very angry. So when I was listening to Sadhguru, I follow him blindly. He was saying that if you take the responsibility of your behavior, you'll become a better version and a better person. Because if you think that I'm talking with someone angry, I am responsible for this angerness and I am responsible for my behavior. So you can become a better version of you, and you will stop doing things which hurt other people.
Absolutely. They say, right, if you being angry is like holding a ball of fire in your hand. Who's getting burned holding the
You.
fire?
Yeah.
You, right? Because your hand gets burned.
Yes.
So that means you are getting burned. So why hold that anger? And I genuinely feel a lot of people behave out of a place of insecurity, behave a certain way out of a place of trauma they have gone through in life,
Yeah.
in their childhood, something which triggers them to behave a certain way. So never blame, nobody was born like that, right? Nobody was born bad. We were all born on a clean slate. So then there are circumstances which make people, it's very difficult for us as normal human beings, or for us as human beings to comprehend this always in a, so in a life which is constantly asking us for so much, we feel, right? It's difficult to comprehend that the other person's situation is situational, right? You must have also observed that when, and this happens like in organizations, right? A lot of politics happens in bigger organizations. People are trying to sort of कहते हैं ना मक्खन लगा रहे हैं
Yeah, but
with the senior management to
Yeah.
make sure they go up the easier way. And this happens, I think it's so cryptic in so many ways that you don't want to live in toxic environment. There are so many people who are going through mental health issues in organizations because of this toxic environment, overworking culture. I think we need to stop glorifying like overworking culture, and we need to inculcate that a normal pace is not bad. I was there myself, to be very honest, where I have overworked, worked 17 hours a day. But what did it do to my health? Nothing. Who was I trying? What was I trying to do? I actually looked into why I behaved the way I did. Why did I go into this overdrive? Of course, you're ambitious. You want to make a
Achieve,
mark, achieve something in life. But we are trying to somewhere also run away from something.
That's so true.
We want to run, that we don't want even an hour to sit idle.
Yeah.
Like I used to repeatedly say this, and since I've like had these interviews and podcasts, I used to ponder when I would go back that why did I say that I don't want an hour idle also? What am I running away from? And that's when I realized that at that point of time I had a breakup in my life, and I did not want a single hour to myself.
So that you
So
don't get, yeah,
I've
time to
worked
think.
so hard. Whatever achievements came were an add-on during that time, but it was to run away from that emotion.
Yeah.
So we don't recognize that at that point and we are not aware that at that point it's important to face it rather than run away, because ultimately over a period of time it gets collected in one place and then you blast in one go.
Like you're talking the heart out, like, so many
Yeah.
people can't even talk about these things because they haven't realized that they are
Yeah.
running away. And it's so great and it's so hard to accept that you are running from the
Yeah.
fact that you will meet yourself somewhere if you sit idly 1 hour or in your day. And I feel like it's so, like, genuine to talk to you. And so I need to, like, ask so many questions
Go
with you.
for it, go for
But
it.
it's this is coming like best, I guess. So Deeksha, what does a typical day look like for you, and how do you prioritize your tasks to stay productive and focus?
So I'm part of this organization called BNI, which is a networking organization. It's an American organization, and I am now their growth director. So I launch chapters for them. BNI starts at a very early hour in the day, so it starts at 6:30, 5:30. So you need to be up by 5:36, and then you need to get to the meeting. So it's a complete accountable networking group. So my first 2 hours, generally 3 times a week, go in that. Then I get on to my team meeting at 10 o'clock. Anywhere I am, it'll be a Google Meet meeting, which I have to ensure that happens at 10 o'clock, where I know what the team is doing from my recruitment company.
Okay.
Then about 11:30, 12, I have another call for the coffee work I'm doing, the
Yeah.
tech organization. So half an hour to 1 hour is in that. And then whatever little bit of calls I need to do, I make sure and then if I have meetings in the day, I schedule my meetings for the week to ensure that nothing is overlapping and I have meetings scheduled. Then 1 to 2 hours every other day I give for the fashion business, which is the line or my mom's business. So to ensure that um, that is being taken care of. And then I take a sort of an accountability of what happened in the day around 5 o'clock from the recruitment perspective. And so technically till 7 I'm done for the day.
Wow.
And I mean it sounds like 12 hours, but I do get a little bit of breaks here and there. And I think I love meeting people for coffee or maybe over a meal, because I think that's when you're up personal and you get to know the person,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
And if it's, of course, if it's a very very professional meeting and you need to go into the organization, then of course I have to do that.
Yeah.
But ideally now I like doing coffee meetups. It's a bit more casual. And a lot of calls happen during the day because work calls one after the other. I sometimes work from home, sometime from the office, and coffee shops are my third best place. Because I just feel like I don't like just sitting in an office space in a box.
Yeah.
I like when there are a lot of people around. You get more inspired. And a lot of co-working spaces also where you meet like-minded people. But I don't think I get the time to even reach to that extent. But yeah. And then in the evening, so some days I catch up with my friends, spend some time with my parents here, and or I'd probably go for a walk. I love Dubai in winters.
Yeah.
October
That's
onwards
amazing.
until May, I think it's my favorite time over here. I love going for my walks in the evening, catch up with a friend whilst walking. I think the whole boulevard area and the canal area is beautiful to walk. And then I think ideally then have your dinner or whatever, and then I hit the bed around 12:31. And I do go on my Instagram like everybody else to be updated.
Yeah.
And something or the other. I have a busy social calendar also. And Wednesday evening, but I have 7 to 8:30. I go for this Bhagavad Gita class, which happens where I stay.
That's great.
So that is something which keeps me grounded, and I love doing that. I also practice Buddhism.
Oh, wow.
So that for that in the morning, there's like a specific chant which I ensure I do, which sort of puts me in rhythm for the day. And I do sometimes hit a low around 4:30, around 4:30. That time I just pick myself up and go out and be somewhere where there is hustle bustle, so that gives me the motivation. What else do I do? I love meeting people.
Yeah.
I love meeting. Sometimes I get really exhausted also, but I still love meeting people. And that's ideally a day
I'm
in
so
my
inspired by your explanation that I feel you have more than 24 hours in your day, it looks like, and you have so many things to do, and you manage so beautifully, like, everything. And you're still talking like, yeah, I have few hours left. And I'm like, what do I do with my time? Am I just wasting my time? I need to work on it.
No, I think everybody, each to their own. Maybe the way you're living is sort of giving you the happiness you need. I mean, nobody's schedule should fit with anybody else's schedule.
No,
And
but listening to your schedule is like something which is giving me happiness more than living my, because I'm a lazy person and I wake up I need to work on that. I'm still working. Okay.
do your 8 hours of sleep and do whatever you want to. I think one thing I'm telling myself to do, and anybody I meet, because that is very important.
Yeah, I'm still working on the 8 hour sleeps also.
Yeah.
Also, like you mentioned about Dubai. So, like, when I shifted here, a lot of people ask me that how does it feel to be in Dubai? How is Dubai? How can we get, hired in Dubai? What are people looking for qualities, and what are the expenses of living here? So you are in Dubai from very long, and you're the best person who can answer and solve the problem of a lot of people. So please, Deeksha, highlight.
Sure. So Dubai is home since 10 years now. I celebrated actually my 11th birthday in Dubai.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, Dubai doesn't let me go away. And I think I came at a time where I just started my life. So Dubai, I don't know any other place other than Dubai to work. So I can't even compare it. Like, you know, you compare it to India, you compare it to the US, UK. I don't have a ground of comparison. So basically, I think uh, for Dubai, I think firstly I'd say it's the poshest city of India. You don't feel
I
it's home.
agree. I
It's
agree.
seriously home away from
It's
home.
just been a year and I totally agree. I
It's
don't feel I'm not in India.
yeah,
And trust me, whenever I go out, I talk in Hindi. There are so many people
yeah,
out there.
yeah,
Even it's not about Hindi. You can eat whatever you want. You can get everything.
yeah.
And it's amazing to be here.
It's actually home away from home,
Yeah.
and you'd see that there are. I mean, honestly, I don't feel shy in saying this, but it's the poshest city of India.
One of the best city of India.
Yeah, safest, poshest city of India. I think Dubai gives a lot of opportunity because of the ease of business to a lot of entrepreneurs. And I'm so grateful to the land. I'm so grateful to Dubai because whatever I could do so far is because of the ease and because of the opportunity, because of the safety the city
Yeah.
has. And it's small. So, you know, the connectivity is, everybody is a 1 degree separation.
Yeah.
And everybody is hustling here. What's beautiful is that everybody you meet,
Yeah.
whether it's whether at any age, everybody has that hunger, desire to do something, which I love. I think I thrive on it. To see that how everybody is sort of fighting, motivating themselves to work. Secondly, I think what one should know when they come to Dubai. I'll talk from both aspects when you're coming to start a job
Yeah.
and if you're looking to get a job or when you're starting a job. Secondly, when you're starting a company here, like from an entrepreneur's perspective. From a job perspective, I would say that from a hiring perspective, clients definitely prefer people with Dubai experience.
That's true.
So that is where a lot of people think, no, oh, Dubai chalo, you'll get a job easily. You'll get a job, but not a good one, is what
Yeah.
I would say. Because they really look for Dubai experience.
So I have listened that for the people who are just beginning their life in Dubai and coming for the first time, it's very different for them to get a job rather than people having a experience in here.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Dubai experience, like if you have 1 to 2 years of Dubai experience also, you'll get a job easily.
But why is it like if I work 15 years in India, why is it different for me?
I'll tell you, it's certain fields. Now, for example, if it's finance, the functions are similar. So there you will not find this difficulty.
Okay.
Indian chartered account in the finance industries, you'll only find ACs.
So do you mean like CAs have options here and
Yeah.
opportunities?
Yeah.
So some of my friends are CAs, so should they just move?
Do they want to move? Do they see a need to
they
move?
they find like as many of us are fascinated, like Dubai is so blingy and it's all about
But they should also know Dubai is expensive.
that's true.
So the cost of living here is not cheap, right?
It's not.
It is, I would say, one of the most expensive countries to live in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are ready to sort of cut down your lifestyle and bear the expense, I would say only move if you're getting a very good package. If you're settled in India with a good package, you have your own house, you don't have all these bills on yourself, and education is expensive for your children here. Everything is expensive. Are you ready to bear that? Is your salary sort of sufficing all that? Then move.
What
Otherwise,
about opportunities? Like, aren't like the expenses are more, but the earning is also more than India, and no
it
taxes.
depends. Honestly, it depends on your package. A, what you're looking at. B, the field. Now, for example, in any of the industries, when they look at the sales and marketing function, they specifically want people with Dubai experience,
Yeah. Okay.
which I understand also, right? Because somebody who's come from India has only the contact sphere in India. They will take some time to build over here. So they'll have to start with the junior position. Are you ready to take that hit? Then maybe you should.
Right. Okay.
Finance function movement is easier. HR function movement is easier because HR
The process is
procedures,
same.
processes, policies are same. Understanding the law is not so difficult. You can go through a training for it. But the others, especially sales and marketing, where there is an opportunity is probably from a digital perspective, IT developers, etc. They could get like good placements here because that is a standard way of working, right?
Yeah.
Wherever there comes that you have to be on the front of the business, that's where Dubai experience becomes essential.
Yeah. Also
And
the
that's
language.
where, yeah, language is not an issue here. English is
Fine.
universal.
Okay.
I don't think language is a barrier in Dubai at all.
Okay.
I think it's only experience and contacts fair.
Okay.
Dubai is all about networking.
Yeah.
So if you're aggressive and you think you can build a network and convince an employer, then you
So
can crack.
recently, actually, I was talking to one of my friend. She's very close to me. So she works in one of the company over here. I won't mention the name of the company. She just mentioned that she was saying, bro, it's just you need to be there in the networking WhatsApp
Yeah.
group to get a job in Dubai, because without that, nobody like looks at your CV. So I was just asking, like, if somebody has moved and, like, sending their CVs again and again. So what do you think about them? So she's like, don't ever try to come to Dubai without having a networking or a WhatsApp group where you can get a job, because people here hire on the good words. If you know that person, you're hired. That doesn't mean like if you are very qualified or something. So do you agree to this?
No.
Okay.
Partially. People can do a favor, but ultimately, long-term perspective, if you don't perform, you're just hired for because someone is not going to give you a long-term job. You'll have to work for it.
No, it's not like about performance or something like that. It's
Acha,
just like
you're saying okay, yeah.
faster. The process become very
the
faster for
process-
them.
Yeah, process becomes faster if you know someone.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, because word of mouth. If somebody is
Yeah.
hiring a position and then there is the skill set matching, yes, that can happen. Secondly, I think what also matters is having an active LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
So it's very important. I think it's more important than your CV today to have a very good LinkedIn. And there are a lot of job boards where you can apply.
Yeah.
And there's a technique of reaching out to the right recruiters and in the companies and right companies to reach out. But you got to be like sort of on your game. But Dubai, I think ultimately everything is about networking
Yeah.
and building relationships. So it's very, very important to do that. One is that, so from a job and from a job perspective, this is how Dubai looks, I would say. Managing your expenses is very, very important in Dubai because I think if you have a set income, it becomes at least clear that this is what you're going to do. Now I'll shift to the entrepreneur side. So, we made these mistakes, so I'm telling you from our mistakes. Don't come and hire a very big team.
Yeah.
Build it slowly.
Yes.
Know the market well. Be on the toes. Be on your toes. Be your business development manager. Do whatever you can first yourself. Have an execution team. But don't hire mindlessly. Because at the end of the day, every month you have to pay the salaries. Make sure your revenue streams are higher first. Your revenue streams are consistent first. Then only sort of build a very big team. That would be my real 2 cents on this, being an entrepreneur.
That's a great, suggestion, because today only I was talking to my husband and he just told me the same thing.
Yeah.
So I totally agree on that, because when it comes to money, you need, as an entrepreneur, you have to think about the runways.
Absolutely.
Every day, every month.
Absolutely.
And for how long you can just go for it. Because I think for starting a startup, it's all about your passion. So how do you want to take your passion to forward? So yeah.
I think these are the sort of mistakes we all make. And the biggest takeaway is be on the business yourself first. Create a lot of income streams. Once you have those income streams running, then keep hiring level one level. So keep your hiring sort of as an entrepreneur. Although I'm running a recruitment company, I'm telling you because burning your hands is very easy here.
Yeah.
So do that and network. Keep building relations, keep building relations, keep building relations. That is the only way to do business.
Yeah, you never know, like,
Yeah, who you'll meet.
who you'll
Yes.
meet. That's so true. Like, we met once,
Yes,
and then here we are.
absolutely. We are.
Yeah, and it's so good to be here. So the next question is, as a mentor with you and women, what are some common challenges you have noticed women faces when starting their entrepreneurial journey?
Mindset.
Yeah.
So there are two type of women. One who come with a very ambitious mind. It's easier to tackle them. I think B is someone who's coming from a complacent environment where they're already very comfortable. They're just starting this out of like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting at home. So they need to understand that this is not a kiddie party.
Yeah.
So you have to change their mindset
Yeah.
first. Changing that mindset is what's difficult. Once that is done, then they need to realize that, it's a lot of work. It's not like you started, it's like you gave birth to a baby and then you're like, no, I'm going for a party.
Mm-hmm.
You can't leave it for that long.
Yeah.
So being on the business is very important. For the people who are already driven by ambition, I think what they face is the right procedures to have in their organization, right path. Growth is a lot of problem for a lot of people. So I always recommend please network. And since women are natural networkers, it becomes easier. So I would say women take on networking faster than men. And that really helps their business.
Yeah.
So I think coming out of your comfort zone is pushing them to do that is what sometimes can get challenging.
Yeah, and actually, like, women talk a lot
Yeah.
more than men.
Yeah.
And even if they are in a room full of like, nobody knows, they'll know everyone.
Everybody.
In the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
the-
innate nature we are
Yeah,
born
hidden
with.
talent we have.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm so very fond of that.
I think it's all of us.
Yeah.
It's all of us.
So next question is, how do you encourage women to overcome the fear of competition and embrace collaboration in a male-dominated business world?
Okay. My, fight from the very beginning has been that, first of all, we need to take out this word competition. I
Yeah.
just do not like it.
Okay.
I never liked it when I was in school. I did not. I always feel do you like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do your best, right? And collaboration is the way. Like for example, if you're not an entrepreneur, you're running a business, but you think there are some complementary business to you, and it's not always that you can do all the services. I mean, why do companies merge at a bigger level also?
Yeah.
Because they try and see whatever services they can merge and give together. Why can't we do it at a micro level?
Mm-hmm.
So that's collaboration.
Yeah.
So it's very important to ensure that the mindset changes, that
Mm-hmm.
collaboration is the way, not competition.
Yeah.
And male dominance in the workplace is sort of reducing. I would say Dubai has become a place where a lot of opportunities for women are there. Now
Yeah.
you must have read a recent article where they need more women on the board of directors. So I don't think it's so much of a struggle here in Dubai. Other places it is there, but I think you just need to keep going. That's
Yeah.
it. Keep proving that. I don't think you need to even prove. Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah, but like, for so many people out there, we need to.
it's pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Pushing boundaries.
So yesterday I was having a conversation with one of the founder in Web3 world, and when I was working in Web3, I don't see a lot of women out there. So I was always questioning, why there are not so many women. Like, there should be.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast, like, where I can talk more about, like, women empowerment. Then my self said, like, it's women, they can do anything, right?
Yeah.
It's just their mindset. If they can change in 1 minute also
Yeah.
and 1 second also.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I think from a Web3 perspective, it's the awareness. We did not, this generation did not grow up knowing that.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's the problem. But I think the more women in Web3 put it out there, I think more women will get motivated to be part of it.
That's so. So let's have a fun game.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, we want to know who Diksha is.
Okay.
Is Diksha a coffee or a tea person?
Both
Okay. Books or podcasts?
podcasts.
So who's your favorite podcaster?
I actually, there's no favorite. I just like hearing podcasts every
Yeah.
now and then. So there's not one person, but I really liked the way Nikhil Kamath did his podcast.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
is like, his sense of humor is like something I admire.
Yeah, I just like the ease in his
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
People were themselves.
Yeah.
There was it didn't feel like a script.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Okay. Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Subjective. I'm a mountain girl. I'm from Kashmir, so I
Oh.
can't say no mountains, but beaches are also very, very relieving and relaxing.
Formal or casual style?
Formal.
Okay. Cooking at home or dining out?
I'm not the best cook, so dining out perhaps.
Okay. Leadership or collaboration?
Collaboration and servant leadership.
Oh. Smartphone or laptops?
Smartphones.
Shopping spree or spa day?
Shopping spree.
Work hard or play hard?
Work hard.
Okay. Mentor or mentee?
Mentor.
Startup or established company?
Both in different phases of life.
Okay.
A startup has a lot of I think it gives you a lot of kick. Established company where probably I am right now in terms of balanced brain. I think that's more important.
Okay, the last one. Solo projects or team efforts?
Team efforts.
Yeah. Okay, so I have so many questions, but we don't have so many time. But what's one piece of advice you would offer to young women aspiring to lead in their respective field?
Go network. A lot.
Okay.
In caps.
But how can the people, like, a woman who has just landed to Dubai or just landed somewhere and they don't have a lot of connection, how do you suggest them they can network?
Okay. Sure, that's a very good point. There are a lot of networking groups in Dubai who welcome people, whoever has come, even who is a newbie here. Like, for example, there's BNI. There are so many. If you just write like meetup groups, networking groups, for somebody very young, there's YP Club. There's immense. Dubai is a land where you can network so easily. And if you know somebody who's just landed and needs help with that, please contact me. I'll definitely
So guys,
help them.
Deeksha is the person. If you are landing here, just go for it.
But you can also Google and find a number of places where you can go and network easily.
Okay, so that's a great answer. And many of people have got it. Like, Deeksha is the person, and just Google it. So, how do you ensure that your personal value reflects in your work, especially across such diverse industry? And also, I wanted to ask like a quick question about Tila Noor, because this is your brand, and I love what you're wearing.
Thank you.
And it is something you are promoting in some artisan here in Dubai.
Yeah. Sure. So basically, Tila Noor is actually my mom's brand, which I'm promoting, but it's very, very close to my heart. So both my moms, like my mom and my Masi, have been designers for the last 35 years in Delhi.
That's great.
So 2 years ago, so I used to, we are from Kashmir, so I love art from Kashmir. And so whenever I would wear what she would make, everybody would ask me, where have you got it from? Where have you got it from? So I told mom, can you design clothes which is for my generation, but inculcating the traditional art of Kashmir, and something I could wear to office. Basically, something which is for a power woman today, something which you and I can wear on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So she came up with the Kashmiri capes, Kashmiri jackets, which became an immense hit. Like, everybody I know personally has actually bought from my mother, because
Wow.
not because they are my friends, but because they love her stuff and they've repeatedly bought, because she so what and I think she's supporting all the artisans of Kashmir. So what is that also doing? It has a multiple effect, that it is also bringing the dying art of Kashmir out to the world. And I have a dream to make this brand really big.
Yeah, this sounds so good because I come from design background and I have done my graduation in NIFT. So
Wow.
this sounds so good, and in the future maybe I'll also come up with my top wear brand. I want to enter into the apparel industry because I feel like Dubai doesn't have something it's of its own brand, and I really want to open this, but
No,
seeing you and
absolutely.
promoting an artisan, that is a great thing to do, I
Yeah,
feel.
I just love. I think I have something to wear. What motivates me also is to wear
And
something
it
new
looks
every
so
day.
cool and stylish at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
So we are at the end of our show, and it was so good having you. So the last question is, what is one piece of advice you'd give to everyone, not only talking about women or like someone in person, but you wear so many different hats. What is that one piece of advice you want to give to all the people, younger generation out there who is still struggling to start something of their own and want to have a better tomorrow for them? What is one message you want to give?
I think from. Can I give three?
Yeah, sure.
One is definitely for existing entrepreneurs, that be humble, be balanced.
That is very important.
Humility is an extremely important element which we negate, forget. Be humble. Second, try and be a nice human being every single day of your
Yeah.
life. Because ultimately, how you make the other person feel is what you will take away in life, nothing else. Everything stays here. And thirdly, for anybody who's looking to enter, looking to build network, build relations, that's going to be your biggest social currency, your biggest bank balance.
Those are like really good takeaways. And so, guys, we are done for the show. But Deeksha, so many more questions I have for you. Maybe next time I'll call you again. But guys, it was such a good conversation, and I didn't understood like where did the 1 hour go. Like it was so natural. But I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode, and I'll have someone who is doing amazing work in the Web3 industry again. So see you till then. Bye.
Thank you.